First of all, my name is Agata Morka. I work as Senior Manager Open Access Books at Springer Nature. And today I will tell you a little bit about how we tried to measure the impact of open access on books. Let me start with a short story. So funny enough, when I was preparing myself for this webinar, I got a message from a very good friend of mine who sent me this particular picture. And to be honest, I was a little bit puzzled as to what this was actually showing, until I discovered that this is actually a picture taken in a stairwell of his office where someone put together a small exhibition about graphic design. And to my great surprise, or rather to my great horror, I discovered that there is a quote on a wall. So someone took a part of an article that I wrote a long time ago in my previous life as a researcher in art history and put it on a wall. And I thought that in a wider discussion of metrics, about alternative metrics, about appropriate metrics for researchers, I found it to be quite hilarious. I personally think that being quoted on the wall should count double. But that's also, of course, only a hilarious little addition in this otherwise very serious discussion about metrics and how they can be used and what they can actually show. And last year, I spent a lot of my time looking into book metrics and looking into how we can show that open access have impact on your book performance. So since I work at Springer Nature, that was a perfect environment to perform an analysis that would compare OA books versus non-OA books. We have a significant portfolio of both open access books and traditional books, and we have been publishing open access books for quite some years now. Springer was actually among one of the pioneers of this of a new open access model for books. Let me tell you just a little bit about our open access books program here at Springer Nature. We pretty much cover all subject areas, and it's possible to publish any book type with us, from monographs to edited collections, proceedings. We also have short form books, so-called Springer briefs and Palgrave pivots, and we can also open individual chapters in otherwise closed books. We are very liberal when it comes to the Creative Commons license that we use. We use CC BY, so the one that allows readers to reuse this content without any commercial restrictions or without any restrictions when it comes to derivatives. All of our e-versions are made available OA, and every single open access book is accompanied by a print version. So far, we have published more than 500 titles. So we have these 500 titles. They're all open access. So we set these books free via open access. And then, does it actually make a difference if a book is open access or if it's not? And what kind of difference, what kind of impact open access might have on its performance? So these questions that we had served as a point of departure for the analysis that we performed last year, and based on this analysis, we published a white paper called the Open Access Effect. So what we looked into was actually we were looking into two sets of metrics. So first of all, of course, we looked into quantitative metrics where we analyzed usage, citations, and online mentions of both OA books and non-OA books, and we compared them. But then we also felt that, of course, those quantitative metrics, they only tell half the story. So we were also looking into more, let's say, human metrics, and we interviewed both authors and funders to understand better what their motivations were when they choose to publish open access, what their experiences were so far, and what kind of effect of OA they see on their books, if they saw any. Today, however, I will focus on the first part of our analysis, so on this quantitative part, to show you which metrics we used and how we used them and how they helped us assess the impact of OA on books. So first of all, which metrics did we use? We looked into downloads, and for downloads, we used our own platform, Springer Link, and open access books were benchmarked against non-open access books published in the same subject area and the same month. We analyzed a total of 216 open access books versus more than 17,000 non-open access books. And the reporting period for downloads ran for 4 years. We started in August 2012 up till July 2017. So we looked at the first 4 years of each book's life. When it comes to citations and online mentions, we used Bookmetrics, which you heard so much about from Martijn. So this is a Springer Nature tool, and it helped us look into usage, readership, and readership of open access books. In this particular case, for citations and online mentions, we compared OA titles versus non-OA titles published in the same year. So, what have we discovered? Because I think that it's quite fascinating what came out of this rather meticulous analysis here. So, first of all, about downloads. We were hoping to show that open access has a positive impact on publications, and indeed, when you look at the downloads figures, I think that the data confirms this rather popular assumption that open access could possibly increase the number of downloads and citations. So, as you can see, OA book downloads remain consistently higher than non-OA books downloads in each of the first 4 years after publication. And you can see that OA book downloads peak on publication with 15.5 times as many downloads as for non-OA books within the first 6 months, and then decreasing over the remaining 4 years of the study period. Open access books, they tend to be a little bit more extreme when it comes to metrics and their behavior here. And you can say that the rate of downloads for non-OA books is steadier over the 4 years. It's steadier than that of OA downloads. Of course, these downloads also, these averages, they differ per discipline. So we looked into different subject areas. And if you want to know more about this, I would very much encourage you to read the entire report, where you can see how these differ per disciplines. Here you have 4 main clusters that we analyzed. So we have humanities, social sciences, and law. Then you have business, economics, finance, engineering, medicine, and biomedicine. On average, we discovered that OA books had 7 times more downloads than non-OA books. And what about citations? So as I mentioned, citations were tracked via Bookmetrics, and for this part of the analysis, we made comparison between OA and non-OA titles published in the same year. And as you can see here, there's a large increase in citations from the first to the second year of a book's life for both OA and non-OA books, which was somewhat, I think, predictable. When you look at it a little bit closer, you will see that citations peak in the 4th year for both OA and non-OA books. However, without data over a longer period being available, it's not clear yet whether this is the overall peak or whether that could change still. OA books, again, are a little bit more extreme, and you can see a sharper growth in citations between the first and second year compared within the second and third year, where the numbers of citations holds steady, more or less. Again, non-OA books are a little bit steadier here, and they show a steady rate of growth year on year. We were, of course, wondering, is there a relationship between downloads and citations? However, we have not established any sort of correlation between downloads and citations. Having said that, we observed a common trend. So books are mostly downloaded within the first year of publication, but of course, as one might expect, again, there is a delay in citations as they build up over time, with older books receiving more citations. And of course, where there is a higher level of downloads for OA books in year 1, a higher level of citations is subsequently observed by year 4. It might be a result of more readers having access to a title, given the pattern of citations shown over the 4 years, which suggests that readers are first downloading a book, then taking time to read, digest, and perform further research before citing it. When it comes to online mentions, because we also looked at them, for the first 3 years, an OA book is mentioned on average of 40 times, and that means 10 times more than a non-open access book. So conveniently so, the data matches our expectations. So what we discovered here is that on average, open access books have 7 times more downloads. They are cited 50%, they have 50% more citations than non-OA books, and they are mentioned on average, again, these are all averages 10 times more than non-OA books. And this is what we discovered. And how do we use this data in our sort of day-to-day experiences? So as I mentioned, this analysis had another part, which was where we interviewed both authors and funders about their expectations towards open access. And what we discovered is that when it comes to motivations, most authors actually expect that if they publish a book open access, it will immediately mean that they will get more citations, that there will be more downloads, that they will reach a wider audience. So among authors' expectations, those were the wider dissemination and increased number of citations and downloads. Those were the motivations, the most quoted motivations of them all. And thanks to this study, we actually, thanks to using all these metrics and looking into how we can compare OA books versus non-OA books, we now have, we can show the real and tangible proof of the actual impact of open access on publication.